We live in interesting times where technology is answering many problems considered too complex to fix just a decade ago. Now, this digital disruption is affecting each and every part of our lives. While companies are leveraging digital transformation to enhance customer experience, there is a whole lot of work happening in the public sector to improve a citizen's life by leveraging digital technologies. In fact, from the perspective of smart cities and digital India, the government appears to be far ahead than some enterprises in technology adoption to improve the quality of life for Indian citizens, with a clear goal of redefining its e-governance models by 2022. Maybe there are some lessons to learn there for all of us, and that's what we're here to discuss on this show presented by Hewlett-Packard Enterprise and Livemint, titled Control Your Digital Destiny. Joining me in this discussion are Mr. Kaustubh Dhavse, Officer on Special Duty to the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and Mr. Som Satsangi, Managing Director of Hewlett-Packard Enterprise India. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Dhavse, let's start with you. What should be the ideal approach to digital transformation in the public sector?
Government is it's a very different sector. And unlike some of the experiences that companies may have in governments in other economies, ours is far, far different. There is no doubt in anyone's mind that technology is an enabler to drive efficiency, accountability, and inclusion. So that has been the mantra for maybe 15 odd years. But the difference is that there was lack of leadership and ability to execute. Primarily because there was huge resistance and change management was an issue. So I think what we have been able to successfully do in the last, say, about at least 5 odd years is that we have been able to make this as the topmost priority in order to ensure that if this does not exist, we will cease to function in an effective manner. We need to capture the aspirations of 1 billion people. And specifically talking about Maharashtra, 65% of the population is less than 27 years of age. And all of these people are on social media, they know the technology, and they expect the government to deliver to their expectations. Unless and until you have a robust, solid, sustainable ecosystem to address their daily needs when they are interacting with the government, you cannot survive. So there is no idle way. But there is definitely a mechanism by which, in a step-march fashion, that we have been able to do in the last 4 years and achieve some important goals. We are not yet there in terms of 100%, but we have made good progress, and I am very confident that if we continue with the same strategy, we will get there.
How can we balance, say, a command and control approach versus a decentralized approach to drive successful digital transformation? Because you mentioned leadership is also, important, but the way that you approach this is also another important aspect of this. What's your view on that? How do you balance both approaches?
It's a great question. It has to be a combination of both. Too much of centralization leads to non-ownership at the local level. You want impact at the last mile. You need to work on your existing hierarchy of administration, which is a legacy we have inherited over a period of time, and then work on mechanisms to enable the system so that they can deliver the vision that the Chief Minister has carved out for a digital Maharashtra. So when we talk about digital Maharashtra, which is basically a subset of the Honorable Prime Minister's program, Digital India program, we talk about 3 fundamental pillars. One, we talk about connectivity. So there has to be fiber in every single village. Now this program has to be done, executed at the centralized level. So for this, there is absolutely, there is no question of delegating the responsibility downwards. The reason being that you need a unified architecture across the board. The second is delivery of services. Now here is where we need huge amount of participation from government officers as well. Because the key is to ensure that you are delivering to people's expectations. When they come to your office, they leave with a smile. Our very, very simple and specific vision that the Chief Minister has laid out is that keep it simple, make it in 2 clicks, and deliver it to the people. And it should be end-to-end. So person applies, so that's services for you. And the last is security. I mean, security obviously is multinodal. It cannot be, you know, at one central space, because the more and more India is going to get digitized, the more and more you are going to prone to attacks. Your vulnerabilities are going to increase. So you need to make sure that you have the Suraksha Kavach, virtual Suraksha Kavach, in order to ensure that people don't infiltrate into your data. So I think it's a combination, and we are somewhat making sure that we do
the balance works for you. All right. Mr. Satsangi, you've heard Mr. Dhavse's perspective on, you know, the digital transformation in the government sector. What's your view on this? What are the questions to be asked? What are the priorities to be set?
See, HP is a global organization, and we are probably the largest provider of technology, services and all. And I can say for sure, today what we have seen in last 5 years in India in terms of the government adopting digital and some of the technology is far ahead as compared to many of the mature countries. The way the speed, the agility, the way government is trying to drive it is very, very far differently than other countries. And as Kaustubh mentioned, that it's all because of the top-down approach and managing at the various level. And we are seeing that things in reality. How it is going to impact each and every citizen. Kaustubh mentioned more than 1 billion plus citizens. How we can provide the same kind of experience, whether somebody is living in Mumbai or far-flung area in Ladakh. That's the kind of experience every citizen in India wanted to have. And some of the adoption, what is happening currently in a government on digital space, whether it's a e-inclusion or he talks about the security, surveillance, and a lot of other area is going to be paramount.
Tell us about some of the work that has been done to unblock projects in the state and how the War Room has contributed to that.
The idea of the War Room was discussed first in November of 2014, after the Chief Minister took reins. And the primary objective was that there were a very large amount of infrastructure / technology projects which have been stuck for a very long time for the need for taking quick decisions and coordination between several agencies. Now, the greatest challenge in a large infrastructure project, let's say for a metro, is that there are multiple agencies responsible and there is seamless coordination required. Unfortunately, and this is not just it's not just an issue that plagues the government. Even at the corporate level or any large organization, coordination between key officers who head their departments is always an issue. Collaboration is an issue. And what we realize is that because of this, there are delays in decision making and there is lack of focus on solving the issue. So we put together a mechanism which is nothing but a project management unit, but it is a little bit more than that. So the Chief Minister heads the unit, and we all work to put together a mechanism by which we can review the projects and articulate them, have a very focused conversation and clear issues related to that. What that has resulted in is that we have been able to accelerate absolutely everything as far as infrastructure in semi-urban and rural areas across Maharashtra. We have been talking about the airport for 25 years, we have delivered it. We have been talking about the Trans-Harbour Link for almost 20 years, we have delivered it. We are delivering 350 kilometers of metro with all the tenders tendered out. We just had the great breakthrough of the Metro 3 underground at airport where the tunnel boring machine came out. So I think the proof of its success is in the fact that we have been able to deliver and execute. Obviously, we will still be able to see the full impact by maybe 2022, but we have already set the ball rolling. The greatest contribution that the Chief Minister's War Room has been able to do, the Chief Minister has been able to consolidate and drive all key infrastructure projects and irrigation projects from a single place and has been able to issue orders, derive policies and get stuff done. I think the key is to get stuff done.
All right. And broadly, in terms of smart cities, what's your view about it and how do you see technology help in building smart cities?
The smart city is a large, highly across the board encompassing program. So it has application at the solid waste management level, it has application at the citizens level, it has application at the communication level, it has application at the water resources level and so on and so forth. Our focus in Maharashtra is to ensure that we take the fundamental pillars of the smart city program and we bring together best technology across the world and put it together in a program and deliver it to the citizens.
Mr. Satsangi, HPE has also partnered with the government in terms of Digital India and smart cities. Tell us more about the projects that you're working on.
With the kind of deep solution engagement what we have got from infrastructure to solutions, we have been working with Maharashtra state government on various projects. Kaustubh talked about the metro project, the providing the Wi-Fi services, providing the healthcare services, providing also the education services. So a lot of projects which are embarked in Maharashtra government. HPE is very strongly aligned in many of those large projects. Like fiber can go to each of the gram panchayat level. From there, how citizens are going to be using it, deployment of the Wi-Fi is become very critical and all. So a lot of large and complex projects which we are working in Maharashtra government. Recently, we have picked up one of the very large project in MP government, and that's India's first unified command and control center, which is based on the entire cloud technology of HPE. In that project, we are going to be combining 7 cities in MP, like Indore, Bhopal, Jabalpur, and all of those things, and providing end-to-end services under one common unified command and control center, whether it's a solid waste management or citizen security, surveillance, traffic management, air pollution control, and all of those things can be managed through a single common dashboard. And that's very, very unique project. Another big project which we are doing and connecting all the government department, all the nodal agencies in the government, in Rajasthan government, where we are trying to connect 22,000 of government department, offices, and each and every taluk and jilla through the common Wi-Fi control center, so that any citizen can go to these offices and communicate with government and do all their application and interaction with the government and complete everything onto the Wi-Fi. So this is a very, very unique example. Nobody has heard of this kind of solution a couple of years back.
That's an extensive roster, and this is just the start. Well, it's time to take a short break. When we return, we will continue this discussion on the lessons from digital transformation in the public sector. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. If you're just joining us, we are discussing the digital transformation in the government sector and the lessons that can be learned. And Mr. Dhavse, we are hearing reports of Maharashtra using AI for social good, and a lot of that has come from the work that happened in the war room as part of Industrial Revolution 4.0. So give us a broad picture on the work that is happening in the state of Maharashtra to redefine e-governance.
Very, very early in our entire focus on driving digital transformation in the state, we realized that Industrial Revolution 4.0 is going to play a very critical role in defining the way we do virtually everything. I mean, AI, machine learning, big data, blockchain are going to become an integral part of what we will end up doing, primarily because they are important, high-end, sophisticated technologies, and more importantly, they deliver greater good if used appropriately. So we put together, about 1.5 years ago, put together a comprehensive strategy for encouragement of AI within the state. We tied up with the Wadhwani Foundation, and they partnered with Government of Maharashtra and Mumbai universities to set up the first AI Institute, which was inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister earlier this year in February 2018. And what the intention essentially was that how can we use AI for solving some of the larger issues in government, whether it's related to malnutrition, whether it is related to tuberculosis, whether it's related to cataract, whether it's related to soil management, and so on and so forth. What AI presents to you is amazing computing speed, very, very high-end algorithms, and its ability to take data and churn and give you humanized, or rather highly predictive results. And that acts as a great boon for government, which is investing thousands of crores in certain schemes and policies. So AI, machine learning, blockchain, these are all areas where we have had immense traction. We also have put together a fintech policy which is comprehensive, including corpus to fund fintech initiatives in Maharashtra.
In light of digital India and connected cities, how important do you see connectivity being to solving citizen-related problems? What's your view on
It's
that?
the core. It's the heart. You've touched on a raw nerve. We must have spent in excess of 20,000 crores in the last 20 years or on putting computerization in government. But what we did not successfully do is really connect the state. So what we ended up doing is that we ended up buying large systems, extremely sophisticated software, but without any reach. So the most fundamental issue, if you really want to deliver the goods to the people of the state, is to connect them. Because what it allows you then to do is to bring telemedicine to remote areas where there is less dependency on doctors and high-end medical facilities because of absence of them. You can deliver world-class education to every single village in the city. And I keep on, I feel extremely bad. I keep on saying this because this is 2019. We should have done it at least 2 decades ago. But it's better late than never. And we are already in that way. So we already have a very large Mahanet program, which covers every single village. We are powering 28,000 villages by our own fiber, which means that we will have complete control on what content and how we are able to deliver it. We are not dependent on any operators. And then we are driving a large urban net program where we are connecting every single social infrastructure and bringing them on the World Wide Web. So the idea essentially is that we are pushing reforms and we are executing on the ground. We are doing both parallelly, and connectivity is at the core of that.
All right. Let's extend this conversation to understanding the strategy for, say, hybrid IT or intelligent edge or point next. Give us your perspective on that.
So Kaustubh touched a couple of things. First is he said the core of this entire transformation is the connectivity and providing the citizen to have the communication with government, even in the remotest corner of the state. And that's a place our entire edge story is working. The Aruba, through Aruba Wi-Fi, we are able to provide the connectivity to the remotest area in the country. That also brings the lot of security element which Kaustubh talked about, because the moment you provide and open that infrastructure to the common masses through all those remote area, security and vulnerability become very, very critical and important. So how the Aruba can provide the secure environment for common masses to interface with the government. So that's one critical area. Second, he talked about the core infrastructure, because if you are doing AI, machine learning and all of those things, then at the heart of the data center, you require a massive system which can do compute, store the data, because data are coming from all the places. The amount of data which is generating at the edge and data center is just growing. So somebody needs to analyze that data and bring the outcome. And that's another area through our entire hybrid IT. We are working very strongly with government, and whether it's state government, central government, trying to create the hybrid infrastructure, which can be on-prem, off-prem, and workload can move from on-prem to off-prem to any cloud environment. So that's another area which we are trying to work it out. Third important aspect is you can have best of the infrastructure, best of the technology at the edge. Somebody is required to bring the outcome of all those things. And that's a place our point next services comes and play a major role in entire transforming the data, getting the value out of data, and ensuring we educate the government and the state government department how to leverage the data so that the benefit can be passed to the citizen services. So we are working on the holistic platform, starting from the core to data center to cloud to edge, and provide a seamless experience to common citizen to provide the uninterrupted services to the common citizen in India.
Mr. Satsangi, what's your opinion on the way ahead for digital transformation in the public sector? Where do you see things headed now?
How we can provide healthcare services to the remotest area, in the far-flung area in India, and also how we can provide the right connectivity, because these are the two very critical aspects of government which they are trying to solve it. We have done a lot of work in that area. we've provided the e-healthcare solution today, and in India we have deployed more than 100 plus e-health center through our CSR activity as a very new innovative model, where we can provide cloud-based services and healthcare solution to the remotest area, and also the entire e-medical records, e-healthcare solution, telemedicine solution can be provided to the common mass in those areas, and the data is kept in the cloud platform. Second is the connectivity. And again, it's a challenge. You can have the fiber connected up to the district level or taluk level or gram panchayat level, but that's not the end of the story. How you are going to connect the every citizen, 1.2 billion citizen, onto that network. So the last mile connectivity also play a very important role. Again, we took a challenge and created a lot of solution based on Aruba platform on a very secure thing, that how we can provide the connectivity to the common masses. And I think some of these things are really helping the common citizen to start leveraging the government services, start interacting with the government interfaces, and getting the wow factor which everybody is looking to interface with the government.
Well, we look for, as an average citizen, I look forward to that as well. That's all the time, though, we have on the show. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and sharing with us your insights on this topic of digital transformation in the public sector. And, of course, thank you to our viewers for tuning in.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.